In this film, Yakup Kadri Karaosmanoğlu is at your age. Do you want to be friends with him? Friends, I am Yakup Kadri Karaosmanoğlu. I'm a Turkish writer, poet, diplomat and journalist. Would you like to know me better? I was born in 1889 in Cairo, the capital of Egypt, which stretches along the Nile River. The city was the largest and most populous city in the Middle East and Africa. My mother, Iqbal, was a loving mother. My father was Abdülkadir Bey from one of the well-known families of Manisa Karaosmanoğlu family. I was the second child of my family. While I was a child in the city of Cairo, one day my family decided to move to Manisa. Manisa, where I would live for 7 years, located in the middle of Aegean region, was known as the City of Princes during the Ottoman Empire period, where the sultans spent their princely period. The Muradiye Mosque of Mimar Sinan, whom you all know, and the holy churches of Christians were also located in this historical city. I loved Manisa. Even the air and water of this beautiful city of Aegean seemed different to me. I continued my primary education in Manisa. During this period, my interest in literature also started. I loved to read books. I was always scribbling something. The rest of my time from my lessons and writing was spent running and playing by the Gediz stream, jumping on a makeshift boat and wandering between the islands. Growing up with nature, I spent my days reading, writing and playing outside. My family decided to move to Izmir out of the blue. Although leaving Manisa, which I love so much, made me sad, this sadness disappeared as soon as I saw Izmir with its deep blue sea and warm people. I started Izmir High School as soon as we moved in. My interest in literature started in Izmir under the influence of Abdullah Rahmi from Akhisar, Shahabeddin Süleyman, who will produce works in many genres of literature in the future, also became my close friend. We owe this closeness to our interest in literature. While I was attending my school in Izmir, my father passed away after a while. My mother said we would go back to Egypt. We set out for Alexandria, the second largest city in Egypt. I enrolled in a French school here and started learning French. I really enjoyed learning a new language and immediately started reading Western authors. Children, people who can speak different languages can communicate with each other comfortably without the need for anyone. If you want to learn a new language, you can start right away. I loved learning French so much that stories I translated from French to Turkish were published in the magazine Turkish. Thus, I have helped many people to read the works of authors from different cultures. While I was making these translations, French literature had a great influence on me. But should I give you a secret? With the influence of French literature, I decided to become a writer. Everyone has turning points in their life. There will always be moments that affect him and change his life. That was one of my turning points. In my works, I have dealt with the lifestyle and problems of Turkish society in general. Guys, I used to observe everything very well. I would examine a dog passing by, a sad-looking person, children playing happily, even a leaf falling from the tree to the ground. These observations have helped me a lot in my works. If you're curious and observing everything that is going on around you, this will work for you in all areas of your life. Remember, being curious and following what you wonder will always open new doors for you. People know me for my novelist side, but I just can't express myself like that. Yes, I love to write novels, but I also wrote poetry, short stories and theatre plays. I also served as a member of parliament and ambassador. While carrying on these duties, literature has once again been the leading role in my life. It is so nice to write, to express my feelings by writing. to be read and loved by thousands of people. Guys, I'm a writer who has seen the Balkan and independence wars and the national struggle. I think that the national struggle is an epic. Why, you may ask? Because epics tell stories of heroism. That's why the national struggle is an epic for me. During the years of the national struggle, after the landscapes I saw in my country, I dealt with the Anatolian people and their problems in all my works. These lands had produced many scholars and artists. I was influenced by the values unique to us, such as Yunus Emre, Fuzuli, Karacaoğlan, as well as by Western writers and philosophers, and processed them in my works. My first novel, Nur Baba, is one of my best known works and has made me known both in our country and abroad. In fact, this novel of mine was filmed by Muhsin Ertuğrul. On the other hand, my novel that won the award in 1942 called The Wild has a special place in the history of Turkish novel, as it is the first novel that tells about Anatolia and our people living in the village. While continuing to write my novels, I was also involved in works that would be beneficial to my country. Guys, have you heard the name of Anadolu Agency? If you haven't heard, how about doing a little research? Before you start your research, let me tell you a little bit about it. Anadolu Agency is the first official news agency of the Republic of Turkey. Thanks to our close friends with Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, I also contributed a lot to this establishment of the agency. It was established by the order of Atatürk in order to announce the news of the War of Independence. Dear children, as you can see, I have served my country in many fields while I spent my life in literature. First of all, I learned my language and culture in the best way. Besides, I learned about other cultures, languages, and people's lives. With every piece of information I learned, my perspective changed, and I got new ideas. Reading is one of the best ways to improve yourself. I recommend that you do not miss the books in your life. I would love it if you could read one of my books one day. Wishing you a life intertwined with literature.